Shop smart, shop S-Smart.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of New Book Who Dis. I am your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me, Jeremy Thevenot from Zade Studios. What's going on, brother? Skull.
Skull, how are you doing today, man? Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming to hang out, man.
No worries.
Let's see. We've got the Thevenot in the chat. Hail, chat. You said that's your brother?
Yes. That is the programmer of the video game Beckons. Yes, my older brother.
Right. Yeah. Bow, damn it.
Wow.
Skull, Flying Feline. Good
What's
to see
up,
you, beautiful.
Flying
Thanks for coming to
Feline?
hang out.
Doing? Yeah.
All right. Let me make sure that I have the correct microphone. And okay.
Let me redo.
Is that your VR headset microphone?
So what you should have heard is, welcome everybody to another episode of New Book Who Dis. So there we go.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. I always forget that Chrome likes to, reset all of my settings whenever I shut the computer down. So yeah. That's always a fun treat. But anyway, thank you for coming to hang out, man. This book looks fucking amazing. And there's a video game to go along with it, but we're going to get into all of that. For those that don't know you, give us an idea of what your background is. What kind of stuff do you do, man?
I basically draw, and that's kind of I make things with my hands. I'm kind of anxious, so I use that anxiety as kind of a tool to just do cool stuff and make sure it looks really neat. Because I grew up, and if I didn't draw something that looked cool, I had Hicks, throwing spitting tobacco in my sketchbook and stuff. So it's like,
brutal. Holy hell! All right. So make it look good, otherwise it will be spat upon. I mean,
you couldn't do experimental or Monet or Van Gogh type stuff.
None of that impressionistic shit here.
Yeah, they'd call you a few different color F words and then spit tobacco in your sketchbook. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess pressure creates diamonds. So
exactly. Yes.
So kind of. I guess it might have worked in your favor. I guess. I mean, tough crowd. Yeah.
Right.
What a gauge.
What a gauge. Yeah. But yeah, so I kind of grew up just coloring and drawing and doing that stuff. My little brother was really athletic, so I was always kind of the older brother in sports with them, doing basketball or taekwondo and stuff, martial arts and stuff. But yeah, in high school, I was still drawing pretty advanced at that time, and I was in art galleries and art competitions. A bunch of the kids in my art class, we were pretty advanced artists. So that's when I did my first drawing for this whole concept of this world that this comic book and the video game is kind of encapsulating.
Wow. So this concept's been kicking around in your head since high school.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
And I'm a big dungeon master, for Dungeons and Dragons, but Roll Master was my game. I really loved that one. So, and I'm
familiar with Roll Master, actually.
Oh, it's cool. The percentile system I like a lot more, but the rule books are thicker. But yeah, you can play it without the rule books, actually, if you can kick out some of the hard rules and just want to have fun. Anyway.
Well, I mean, that's part of tabletop, right?
Yeah.
I mean, with a good DM, you can
freestyle,
make your own shit.
Modules.
Yeah, freestyle.
Yeah. That's what we did.
Nice.
So, so I got a lot of practice and doing that, and I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, that and Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, PlayStation, golden era and Super Nintendo golden era. So
man, yeah, some amazing games from back then, man. Just groundbreaking. Just the stuff that they did, the stuff that they, brought to the table, the way they were thinking, it hadn't
they're
been
always
done before.
kicking down a wall.
Yeah. I love watching, as a matter of fact, a lot of my YouTube stuff, if it's not about comics, it's about video games. Actually, it's about, video games, the creation of like, troubled production lines. I don't know if you've ever watched Matt McMuscles. He's got a show called What Happened, and it's about like, troubled production of a video game.
Yeah,
it's
like gnarly.
And how somehow they have this grand concept for a video game to start out with,
and how it starts whittling
the
down.
studio comes in and it's like, oh well, we need this a lot sooner than you thought you had, so we're gonna cut this out, we're cut that out, and so you've got like these chunks and pieces that don't kind of go together, and then they mash them together into a game, and you're like, oh well, that's why none of that made any fucking sense. Okay.
Yeah, so not to get too off the nose on this, but my game concept is actually at the breadth of like the Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 breadth, as far as like the volume, crafting system, other side mechanics. But the big thing it all circles around is that cool addictive battle mechanic, and so the magic system supports that. All the items and the ingredients that you have to get to craft the items, if you can't just buy them and stuff. This all sounds like fragmented feature creep stuff, but it's not. Without one of those chunks, like you said, it makes some of these other chunks feel isolated and like they're shoehorned in. And it's like, no, without all these things working in tandem, because that's the complete concept. So
they're all part of it, and they all what is it, Gestalt?
Gestalt. Good use of the word. Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks, man. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. What's up, Cement Shoes? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming to hang out. And we got a Frog G in the chat. What's up, Frog G?
Frog
Good
G,
to see you.
man, sir, salute you.
Yeah. The Frog G campaign actually just closed down last night. What's up, Past Master Dan? Good to see you, mate. Thanks for coming to hang out.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
What's up?
I love talking video games. I don't often get to talk video games, just because I know a lot of artists, when they're working, we like video games, but I've found that a lot of us, like, we feel like we're wasting our time when we're playing video games. You know what I mean?
It's true. Yeah. But the thing is, the flip side of that coin is if you do it for a job, like I have, you kind of lose that little bit of spark and joy of it, because now you're playing it and going, oh, I could do that with this, or we could do it. So you don't really, it's harder to indulge the story and the fantasy a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I just,
but it's still fun. You can't complain about it. It's still fun.
Right. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing. You gotta take a break every now and then to recharge the batteries. And the storytelling done in video games is unique to video games. You know what I mean? The storytelling done in comics is very unique to comics. Storytelling done in movies is unique to movies, and they all have elements that overlap one another. You know what I mean? So the way I look at it is you've got to take a break and recharge the batteries sometimes. And if that's playing a video game for a few hours, and, for me, it's playing Elden Ring for a few hours and bashing my head against the brick wall until I make it somewhere.
Right.
And I've played, I guess maybe about 5 to 10 hours of Elden Ring so far.
Elden Ring, yeah.
And I mean, I've gotten really nowhere in the game overall. But I've killed a couple of like minor bosses.
I'm about 8 hours in it, so I haven't really dived that much into it because of or dove too much into it because I'm working on that much. But yeah.
Well, see, and that's the thing. You got to balance it.
Right.
I've decided that I will start doing. I tried to do a live stream of Elden Ring, and my computer ran the game sort of just fine. Trying to stream it through StreamYards in Chrome, it did not like that. Because like the first boss, the grafted Scion, didn't even show up. At first. Like I'm wandering around the battle arena. I'm like, okay, where, what? And nope, no bad guy until all of a sudden he drops right on me, and I get a couple of swipes in, and then he kills me, and I'm booted into the rest of the game. And like NPCs wouldn't show up and whatnot, so gotta rethink that.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is I might do is just record some of my stuff and then edit it down and then put it out as like a half-hour thing or something like that. If somebody wants to sit and watch, I don't know. We'll see. I might try to do another live stream with just OBS and streaming directly to YouTube and see if that works. YouTube and Twitch and all that. But I figured the only way I can actually get video games in is if I make it a part of my channel content, because then I'm technically working on my channel. I'm adding content to my channel. And I get to have fun while doing it. Not that drawing isn't fun, not that, working on story isn't fun, but there's a part of me that needs to play video games every now and then,
It's a puzzle solving thing.
Exactly.
You can't go out and hunt things in the streets and stuff without getting a ticket or arrested or something, or like complain to we're psycho. So we got to do it in this stuff.
No, I hear you, man. Exactly. And
that's why Bobby Lee plays 12 hours of freaking Red Dead Redemption just to hunt one like leopard,
Wow. See, I knew that Red Dead Redemption was it was too big of a game for me to jump into. I was like, I literally do not have time to spend 400 hours in a game like that. Even though
Skyrim, I've done that. Morrowind, I've done that.
Oh, dude, Morrowind. Yeah. I've heard a lot of people talk about Morrowind and how that that will just absolutely eat your time, but they love it. That's why they keep going back to it. Let's see the chats here. What's up, Seth? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And Cement Shoe says, when is the next sing-along of Doom? This Saturday. Sing-along of Doom. I'm shooting for 7:30, 8 p.m. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. But yeah, went and cleaned out the studio for the sing-along, the Doom studio, as it were, out there. So yeah, this Saturday there will be a sing-along of Doom.
Nice.
I appreciate you asking, Cement Shoes. Thanks, man.
I was on, I think it was Fenatra's, and he was bringing up, it might have been another guy. To be honest with you guys, I love everyone that had me on. It's just all starting to blend together at this point. But I was on a show. As many
shows have you been on recently? Yeah, I bet it do.
Yeah, so they brought up the comedian Jim Brewer and how he does an AC/DC impression. And so we were doing that during kind of my pitch, and I was like, I'm going to start pitching Beckon with that. Beckon Recalls! You're talking about sing along. I'm like, yeah, let me rewrite an AC/DC song.
There you go.
It'd be awesome.
If you want to sound like the dude from AC/DC, all you got to do is try to sound like Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
Black Cobra retreat. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
What's up, 24 Eyes? Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out, man. Yeah. So don't often get to play video games because, taking time out to play video games, I could also be reading the stack of books that I have,
of course,
a lot of comics. And we have to, when we're creating stuff, we have to be well read. We have to know what's out there in order to craft something that's unique and original, and that way you don't swipe ideas, If you're working on something and you go and you read something that came out like 2 years ago and you're like, oh shit, that's very similar to what I was thinking. Shit, I might need to change this a little bit. Because nobody wants to steal anybody else's idea. Nobody wants to be thought of as an idea thief, at least.
It's Carlos Mencia.
Yeah.
As Amy Schumer.
Yeah, exactly.
As Dwayne. As
nobody wants to be thought of like that. Exactly. And you want to be remembered for doing something original and cool. I might need to do that tomorrow or something like that. Past Master Dan, thank you. I appreciate the eyes. Dark Crystal. The movie or the TV show? See, I never saw the TV show, but I heard it was pretty okay.
It was good. It was okay. I liked it. I mean, it's not the original one, but Dwight sitting there plugging away, trying to get like everyone going, oh, this reminds you of Dark Crystal. They're already doing that, bro. They already do that.
Well, I mean, if you have a dark fantasy story that has like even like pseudo animalistic type characters, I mean, there's going to be a comparison drawn there because I mean, Jim Henson does creature type characters so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tasted some Sabaton lyrics for the gates of hell as we make our way to heaven through the Nazi lines. Primo Victoria. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm still working on some Sabaton, some more Sabaton for you, but there will be. We were mentioned potential. We were mentioned potential gets close stuff. So I'm not sure. Oh, dark crack crystals. Bow.
That's what you can. They're $5. For each one. You can get the whole collection for $25 on this campaign.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
and you can get that replica like you've got right next to you on the campaign.
It's sold out.
It's sold out. Oh, too late. See, you gotta jump on that early. What's up, Hockey?
What's up, Hockey? What's up,
see you, man?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to hang out. So we talked a little bit about the stuff that I guess kind of inspired you, like video games, Final Fantasy, and whatnot. So tell me about the impetus for this story. Where, I mean, I can see where the seeds were planted, but you said this idea kind of came to you like in high school. Like what was like the first, I don't know, little seed that sprouted for this story for you?
So I was reading Lord of the Rings before the movies came out.
Nice.
And the only art books I had at the time were John Howe and Alan Lee's art books.
Nice.
So when I was a kid, I always liked Ninja Turtles and Superman at that time on the VHSs. It was the yellow cassette tape. I forget. It's like, that one with anyway. I was drawing all that stuff, and instead of like stick figures, I was actually drawing forms. Anyway, this is getting off topic a little bit.
No, actually, it's not. Like, I want to hear about how this story started.
Yeah. So I was also a Star Wars fan, a little bit of like from episode 4 through 6, and then
the original trilogy. Yeah.
And then this was soon after episode 1 came out, where I had this idea that Star Wars gets this writing freedom because each planet, if they want to switch something up, they could just make a new planet. And the thing is that all of Hoth is snow, all of Tatooine is desert, all of Endor is forest. And I'm like, why not have all of this variety on one planet like we actually kind of do?
Yes.
So I said, if I created a new planet and just tried to reinvent things, I would never would run out of things to create as far as like artist block or anything. I would always have something to work on. And then 2, I loved these big stories I was suddenly absorbing, like Final Fantasy 7 and 8. And,
I mean, and reading Lord of the Rings and the like Final Fantasy 7 and 8, those are big stories. I never actually got into I never played 7. But I have 8 and I have 9. I really enjoy 8.
8 is great, and
9's epic too.
Play 8 with the thought process that after disc 1, Squall's dead and his brain's letting go of the last memories it has. So that's his final fantasy.
Yes.
Go back. Now, that's not the official. Even the director said, no, that's not it. But it's a really cool theory that I favor among, better than the original. It makes, makes it so much more cool.
Fan theories, man. That's part of the fun of games like this is fan theories, especially played over and over again. But yeah, I remember just being blown away by, the scope of the book, of the video game,
A whole planet to kind of sail around. You find little hovels and secret bosses and stuff. Shit, they're going to space in those.
Up to the space and whatnot. So, man. Billy says, sorry I missed your launch. I'm glad your campaign is going well. I've had the privilege to see a lot of this over the last year. Y'all are not ready for how mind-blowing the work Jeremy has done.
Thanks, Billy. Appreciate that.
He showed me some stuff that won't be on the campaign. It hasn't been posted yet. So yeah, I agree with Billy. There's some epic shit down the pipeline for you guys. Let's see. Let's boost to make Jeremy work on more stretch goals.
Funny you mentioned that.
Let's see. All of the Final Fantasies are epic. 3, man. 3 is a head fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that
Kefka
Final Fantasy
wins.
was created like, all right, well, the reason why it's Final Fantasy is because this might be the last fucking video game we make, so let's go out with a bang.
Right.
Yep.
And I was just talking to someone else that 12 ended up kind of utilizing the same tactic that they did for 1. They were almost done with the game. They were still in the middle of production, but they had to get this out. So that's why you got the style you did of gameplay.
Right.
So when it got to 12, this new kind of MMO style system, the only way you could get your other characters to work the way you wanted is if you programmed them. Now, instead of programming them intellectually as the programmers, and they instead made all the tools and let the player program those other characters themselves, the Gambit system. So I'm a big champion of that thing. It was too cool. Maybe a little out of context, but I really thought it was really cool for the time.
Not even remotely out of context, man, because you've got this this campaign, you've got your comic, Beckon Recourse, but link is in the description of this video. You've also got a video game.
Yeah.
Which I fucking love.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool, man. Because if you look at my Twitter profile, and it's been this way since 2009 when I signed up, comics, video games, and death metal. Those are my 3 things that I have on there. I love video games. I love the way they're constructed. I love the storytelling that can be done. I love the puzzle solving. It's a story, like it's a story, a comic book, a movie, or whatever. It's wrapped up into like this puzzle that you are interacting with. I love the interactive nature of video games because it makes you fucking think.
Yeah, and you can get lost in them. Those older games you could get lost in. They didn't have mission markers and stuff. So the only way you figured out where you could go was to talk and indulge the world a bit.
And interact with the world. Exactly.
Yeah. And then that's kind of the immersion of the role
and
play.
See, that's what I love about FromSoft games. That's why I love about Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Elden Ring. I've yet to play Sekiro.
Oh, I've got it.
Though I've heard that that game is hard
rough
as fuck.
It's rough. I can only replay 3 areas, and I have to have the cojones to get to the next boss. I've killed a few of them, but dude, right now I always thought I could level it up, and you can't. It's only practice the reflexes. So yeah.
I mean, and that's really what FromSoft games are. I mean, you can only level up so much, and it really doesn't mean shit because you'll still get murked, even at a higher level. If you're not careful and you're not playing right, you'll get murked. Yeah, totally. So the what came first, the video game or the comic book? I mean, I understand the video game came first. Okay, so the concept started in high school, so you went for a video game first.
Yeah, so in high school, I developed more of these concepts because, like I said, I kind of went, aha, I'll never run out of ideas. My art teachers were like, we need to get you in Savannah College of Art and Design.
Nice, dude.
And so I was like, all right, cool, but my grades ain't going to do it. They all said, yeah, but we'll work on your portfolio. So that was my portfolio, was drawings and concepts of this world mostly.
Showing I did do the work. Yeah.
Did some sculpting over here, did some painting and multimedia over. Oh, well, check this out, buddy.
I see that mannequin back there. So you sculpted that.
Yeah, this is still soft clay.
Oh, that's fucking rad, man.
Yeah. And I have Chris Fisk
back in the studio that I made.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, how big is it?
It's about the same size.
Oh, cool. Yeah. These maquettes, they're wicked. Chris Fisk. So I got that. I took a bunch of pictures of it. I sent it to a sculptor buddy of mine I used to work with. He resculpted it in digital form at like a 10-inch size. Nice. So Chris Fisk 3D printed me a little mini version of it.
Look at that.
Yeah, but then he just sent me some images today that are of a 9.1 inch version that he says he's sending to me as a trophy.
Wow. All right.
I'm like, what? I got to show this off tonight on my show. I'll show you.
Dude, that's awesome.
This is him holding it, but it's so let's see.
Hockey says his contribution ID is number 78.
Oh, thank you, Hockey. Appreciate you, bro. And he's going to be helping me, I hope, with some shipping stuff over there to the upside down.
Awesome.
Yeah, look how big it is.
Wow.
And it's got like the logo and stuff on the underneath. But yeah,
man,
I can't
look
wait.
at the detail though. Look at the quality. That's great.
Yeah, there's still some flashing from the supports, but dude, it's so awesome.
Right. I mean, you got to go through and sand it down, but I mean the detail and like the clothing and the thatching there. Wow.
Yeah, give me a second.
That's pretty fucking rad, man.
Thanks,
yeah.
boss. I got one more image of it. It's kind of the front, but yeah, still the same thing. It's like you get kind of an unfocused, but you can see the base and the toes and all that. Yeah. Dude, I can't wait. Thank you, Chris.
That is fucking rad, man. Yeah. Hell yeah. Now, is this going to be something that might be available on your website later or on the campaign?
On the old, it was actually offered in the old video game campaign. So to let you guys know, you can see this at zadestudios.com, but our closed Indiegogo page, I was actually just pretty proud of it. So we didn't have the crowd part of crowdfunding. At the time, I was coming behind Star Circuit. Joe Catapano is my buddy from high school. We've worked together.
So you've known Joe for that long? That's
awesome.
That's
we're buddies,
dude, man.
Yeah,
had him. I actually had him on the show as well.
Oh yeah, he's killer artist too. Heck yeah. So we had these on the campaign. That's just a digital color of the 3D digital model.
Nice.
Hadn't had it 3D printed yet. But yeah, we had offered these things back then, and it was we had a weird sense of pricing compared to getting to know the group now. So,
I mean, you know, that's the thing. You live and you learn. You try different things and you see what works, and then you modify. You know.
Yeah. So and the video game. So we have it up on Steam. The prototype is free to play. After I fulfill the comic book, I have a couple more animations to work on. We have a whole update to this battle system that has all 3 party members and the boss fight fightable. Nice. Right now, the prototype should take you about 40 minutes to get through. You'll see the boss. You'll see your support characters hop in. But yeah, we got an update ready for you guys. Yeah.
So definitely in the style of like JRPGs and Final Fantasy. Nice.
Yeah, for an indie company, for that to be the way you go with the RPG is kind of the safest, because the other mechanics can bloat out as far as art is concerned. With JRPGs, you can kind of stay strict with the storyline and characters. When it gets to more of the Western RPGs and stuff, you're creating a character. You get to carve your own, adventure in this open world. So there's a lot more to kind of balance and direct. So like keeping it in this small kind of PlayStation Golden Era JRPG was comfortable for me at least, to organize and set up, because Dwight's just building it now and it's freaking great. And it's been awesome.
It looks fantastic, man. And your brother's doing the programming. So it's just you and him creating this video game. That's fucking cool, man.
Thank you.
Billy Bascom says, I stole FF3 for Super Nintendo from my local Blockbuster. I was not about to give it back, even though my rental time was expired. Yeah, that do happen. That do happen. Let's see. And I'm going to grab this link here and drop it in the chat. So you guys can check out zadestudios.com. And like I said, the link for the Steam page for the video game is in the description. Go check that out, guys, because it's free to play. I mean, go download it, check it out. Yeah,
and if you don't like it,
Corey? Good to see you, man.
What's up, Corey Barton? Yeah, Kozor. What's up, good stuff?
Yeah, and we got Ms. Good Stuff. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming to hang out. Let's see. All right, so let's take a look at the campaign. So yeah, you said that once you fulfill the comic book, you're going to be working on the video game anymore. Are you going to expand the video game out and like make it like a full-blown big ass epic RPG, or is it going to stay at the prototype phase for a little while?
It's still staying at the prototype stage until we relaunch a new crowdfunder campaign. Now that we've had some support from the comic book, and we'll probably run 2 more books to complete this prologue of the story. I have 10 issues of comics after this prologue is complete to go with, and all of those events happened 10 years before the events of the video game.
So it leads into the game. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So I have some leeway there, but if the prologue finishes and then we run a game campaign, you guys actually can get us through there, then you guys are going to have a whole comic series to be reading while we develop the video game. And so all that kind of times out. Yeah. So
I like the sound of that. What's up, Frequency Girl? Good to see you.
What's up, darling? Yeah. But
some person says one day Billy's door will be knocked down by a bounty hunter paid by Blockbuster long ago. A contract's a contract, bub.
A lot of the thing about running the crowdfunder campaign for the game is just getting the money to be able to hire some side help, like some more artists to help me out build this, and then to fill in some of the finer essence of the programming and UI. Dwight's doing a bang up job, but he's even told me I can't build this whole thing by myself. I'm like, you're doing a great job, dude. You're doing a great job.
That may be, but I still need some help.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at this trailer.
Yeah, Dying Days made it.
Fantastic. Dude, this artwork is just gorgeous.
Thank you.
Wow. Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
That was epic. And that totally has the feel of like Final Fantasy. The music, like the seriousness, the back and forth. Yeah, man. Good job, Dying Days. That was badass, man.
Oh, yeah. Dying Days killed that thing. He totally brought it to a whole dimension I didn't even think to see it in, or that I would think to see it in today, because we've talked about animating our cutscenes in the game, since a lot of the storytelling that we can do at the moment is like sequential type stuff for like cutscenes. But yeah, I was like, what is it? Riot Games does it for League of Legends and stuff, where they take these frozen images and put them in After Effects and do these. So I was like, oh, Dying Days, let's go. So
Well, I mean, that's kind of how they do the motion comics as well. I mean, it's a perfectly viable way to tell a story, you know?
The music was composed by a buddy of mine. It was a classical pianist, Johnny Flanagan, and we used to live with each other. And in the basement, he had this like toy piano. I think it was still pink, but it was plugged up to his computer. And I think it was his niece's toy piano. It was plugged up. Yeah. And so he wrote most of that composition, but I was like, put some cymbals in there, get me some taiko drums, you know? And it's like, I love the sound of it. I've even attempted to get some music guys, and they're not weird enough. So Johnny loved heavy metal and metal music, but he also loved like Beethoven. He loved Cradle of Filth, because they kind of take that classical approach to their metal music. And
tell him to check out Flesh God Apocalypse, Italian opera mixed with.
He probably knows them. Yeah,
he probably does.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorites. Billy says Beckon, the game deserves full funding. No ifs, ands, or buts. The Thevenot boys have worked hard. Yeah.
Thank you, Billy.
Looks like best monkey comic I have ever seen.
Michael Bancroft, how you doing?
That's Corey. 80s Made Consumer says this book so nice. Back it twice. That's right. Apparently your brother's trying to enlist Hockey to help him. Hockey says I studied computer science at uni, specializing in games, but I forgot it all. I can't help you.
Oh no.
Oh, we do have a Bancroft in the chat. What's up, Bancroft?
Yeah.
Welcome. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you. Dude, that
Taskmaster Dan says needs more cowbell. I've got a fever, and the only cure is more cowbell.
I put my pants on the same way as the rest of you, but when I put mine on, I may go records.
God damn, I miss when SNL was funny.
Right?
Holy
it was so
shit.
good back then.
What's up, good stuff? Thanks for coming to hang out, man. Appreciate you being here.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see. Man, the chat is a jumping tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out. And, you know, for good reason. This is a badass project. So 32-page saddle stitch fantasy comic suitable for a teen audience, which means, you know, you don't have to worry about the content. Yeah. It's going to be a good story. It's not going to talk down to you, you know,
just a little blood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, and that fits in line with you know, the Final Fantasy, like the comic books, or not the comic books, the video games that obviously are an inspiration, you know.
On a writing pit, Final Fantasy is a little bit more lippy. Like they'll use your curse words and your stuff like that. And I'm not opposed to using them myself, but in my game, it's like a lot of our curse words derive from our own history. So even certain one of these curse words, it wouldn't work in this world. They wouldn't know what these concepts are. So I'm trying to keep that. I mean, you know, kind of.
I think that's even better. You know, using your own language, like using the language like built into your world. I think that helps ensconce the people in the world. It helps draw the readers in more. You know, because if you use a word that, you know, is a curse word in your world, in that context, people will be able to pick up by the context of the conversation or what the character's saying to know that, oh, okay, this is supposed to be their version of, you know, whatever. Farscape. I don't know if you've ever watched Farscape.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I hadn't watched it, but my buddy,
one of my favorite sci-fi shows ever, and they have their own version of swearing.
Yeah.
You know, that way they can get away with saying whatever they want because they
right.
You know? But you know exactly what they're saying. Like when someone says "frel you know exactly what they're saying. Yeah. Exactly.
I will thong you until your insides are out. Your outsides are in your entrails and become your extrails.
And that's one of my favorite movies.
Me too. Chaucer, man. Chaucer was my favorite.
Oh yeah, Paul Bettany. Bettany before he was the Vision Man. Oh yeah. Yeah. So good. That whole movie, just everybody in that movie went on to do something great.
Good stuff.
You know, like because you had what's his name?
Mark Addy.
Yeah. And the dude that was in what was it?
Ledger. Hey, Heath Ledger, of course.
Well, I mean, obviously Heath Ledger, and then the dude that played Wash. From Firefly. Why am I blanking on his name?
Watt was his name in the show, but
and then the fatter guy, he was in whatchamacallit? He was in the Full Monty, you know. And and of course, you know, Paul Bettany is Chaucer. I mean, that whole movie is just fantastic.
It is. It's awesome.
Yeah, see, Feline knows. You got good taste in movies. Knight's Tale rocks.
I can quote it, man. Like those Chaucer introductions, I got them.
Yes, that part where he's talking about how he will eviscerate them with literature, and I was
naked for a day.
Zit. Yeah,
I was naked for a day. You will be naked for eternity.
Yes. Yeah. Chaucer, man. Alan Tudyk. Yes, thank you, Frog. I appreciate that. Yeah. Alan Tudyk is fantastic. I haven't seen her anything else though. She's had a few bit parts. I can't remember exactly what. Firefly was mentioned. Yeah, great too. Yeah, it was a good show. And Farscape is definitely worth a watch. I really, really enjoyed that show. All right, so getting back to the comic book. So the long form Beckon comic series. So you said you have about 10 issues of this planned. Are each one of them going to be about 32 pages? This prologue series, so it's like a trilogy prologue. Those will probably be around the same amount of pages, but on that third campaign, I'm going to be offering where all three of them are smacked together in a hardbound for you guys. That way it's all segmented off, and it's a nice little pristine version of it.
That's the plan anyway. We'll see where we get, guys. You all are doing killer though, so my brain's like trying to stay contained for the most part. But
right,
I got 10 issues past that, so I've got 2 more books,
okay.
and then we got 10 issues, so 12 more books.
You've got 13, including this one.
Yes. I didn't mean for that, but maybe I did.
Yeah. Hey, you know, if you aim for the star, if you shoot for the moon, you know, you end up amongst the stars, as they say. So I mean, you gotta aim big, you gotta think big, man.
Heck yeah.
And see what happens. Barasaki, what's going on, man? Thank you for coming to hang out. Barukusaki, sorry. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for coming to hang out. Oh, wait, do these monkeys eat bananas?
So I guess I do kind of need to talk about what this book is about briefly.
Yeah,
right?
give us an idea of the. I mean, obviously,
so
it's a
my brother
epic.
sucks at selling this book. Thanks, Dwayne. Bananas.
He's the programmer. Damn it, you're the one with the story and stuff like that. You're the one that has to sell this stuff. So
for sure, I love him. So this book takes place, and the game takes place. This whole story legend takes place on a planet called Devanis, and on this planet, you have 2 resources that influence all living things on it. One are these crystals that vibrate, and that's what the magic is done with. But they vibrate, and the way you do the magic is you meditate, get your brain waves on the same frequency as the crystal that you're meditating on, and then you can do things like fireballs or lightning strikes and stuff like that, or other cool stuff that we have. But this other substance is called Denithite, and it's a parasitic substance. It kind of mind controls its
host
and can kind of even reanimate dead or dying things to kind of prolong them through. But they're all connected. Everything that's infested with Denithite is hive mind connected. I haven't been saying that to people. So it's kind of like a very primitive internet type system. So this kingdom of Thal had developed technologies and war machines and stuff using this Denithite substance, and they had enslaved the Jiri people, which the Jiri were also the Thalians as well. They're still like this ape monkey looking primate-ish creature, but there's humans on this planet as well. But the Jiri are more technologically advanced. Anyway, so one of their own that were enslaved in Thal kind of Mosesed a bunch of them out and across the continent Arlea, and they found a giant tree where they made a new home in. And in the roots of that giant tree, they found that it was infested with Denithite, but there's this half human, half crystal child in the midst of that cluster that's keeping the Denithite from growing. So they make a new home there. Their crystal users and magic users start going into the roots and studying this kid to find a hope to defeat Denithite and Thal. Right. So that's the set and setting. The book,
that is an epic setup. Okay, yeah.
The book follows a Jiri father raising his family in the Tree Kingdom of Tula'Banya, and he's a load-in user, a tuner, and he's going to his job today to go through an exam to become one of the higher-ranking ones, named the Watchers of the Nightmare Eater, and it's going to go bad.
I mean, something's got to happen. There's got to be a conflict.
Yeah, it's kind of like that video game. What was it? My Job, the VR job game, Job Simulator. Okay. Except it's you're not simulating, and it's in a fantasy world. So a lot of things are going to go real bad. That's a real bad joke, but yeah, it gets pretty epic in the half part of the book. For the rest of it, it's all kind of the crazy action that happens. So half the book's awesome. A lot of like story setup and character introductions.
Your brother says, if no one has laughed at your dreams, you haven't dreamed big enough. And I can agree with that. Dream big, and if somebody laughs, fuck them, you know? Keep going towards it anyway, you know? Bancroft says, windmills, if you fight with them, can cast you down into the mire or up amongst the stars. That's right. Jeremy, will the full 10 issues all be prequel to the game story?
Yes, it all happens 10 to 15 years before the events of the video game.
Your brother's like, hell, I hope not. The plots. Yep. Yeah, Dwight, he's gonna. It just means more work for you, man. Just more work for you. That's what it means. Frog G says, "Get your brain on the same frequency as the crystal, maybe as the world, maybe a global
frequency."
Oh, wait,
yes,
hang on.
yes.
I have something for this. Where is it?
Yes, rim shot. Nice.
Yep.
Oh, I was on
Magical
global.
Job Simulator.
I was on. Oh, that's good. I was on Neff's the other night, and so everyone makes fun of me because I talk about fractals and stuff.
Right.
That's kind of like how the magic.
We live in a fractal universe, but
yeah, exactly. So I'm like using harmonic and resonance and to kind of explain.
If you
my
want to know
magic
the
system.
secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Amen. Preach it, brother. So yeah, everyone makes fun of me because I talk about that, and so I'm on Neff's, and they're like, right at the end of it, Neff's goes, "You know what made me happy and make my night is if you explain to me fractals." And so I go, "Fractals are." I was so excited because the way he worded it, and he knew what he was doing. It would make my night if you would explain. Like, okay, fine, fractals are, and he cuts the show off right there, ends it with the outro. It was perfect. It was excellent. It was amazing.
Damn.
It was awesome.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I fucking love those two. Neff and Freak Girl. They're great.
Yeah.
You know.
They are.
Let's see. 3, 6, and 9. That is correct, my dear. That is correct.
Sequence. The study of or I design on odd numbers anyway. But 6 isn't an odd number. But yeah, it's like Fibonacci sequences 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, you know, goes on.
Patterns in the universe, man. If
Yeah.
you're paying attention, you know, in the world that we live in, neurosynaptic harmonic resonance. Hey, indeed.
Yeah, there you go. Like that. Yeah.
If only there was a clip of that floating around somewhere.
Well,
I'm getting the feeling that Frog G is going to find a clip of that somewhere.
Look up Hutchinson effect, and you'll see this crazy whacked out science guy that claims he's buying all this machinery off eBay that was old military stuff and making a machine that does this with bowling balls and paint.
With bowling balls and
I don't know if it's real or not, but it's there. The video clips, you can see the bowling ball lift up. You can see paint drip up. You can see like a fork fusing to other metals because he's got one machine that can analyze an object's frequency and then has another machine that can replicate that frequency. So once he can replicate a frequency of a bowling ball with his other machine, their phases are like locked in like quantum entanglement. And so with the other machine, the artificial sound, he can then, change the amplitude or the phase, and that causes reactions with the bowling ball, like making it float.
I mean, it's the same concept as the dude with the tuning fork. You know, he hits the tuning fork over here, and it's going at a certain frequency, and that one over there that's at the same frequency starts resonating. Yeah. Oh man, we gonna have to talk about this. I know you got a show in about like 12 minutes, so we need to get through.
I'll be back, man. I gotta close out this thing when it gets to this.
Oh yeah,
I'll be
dude.
back.
This, and I agree with 80s Made Consumer. The art is absolutely beautiful. I know I asked you backstage, so you're working completely digitally, but you're traditionally trained.
Yeah. So I love graphite. I love using mechanical pencils because I like to crosshatch. My drawing professor in college was like, don't use your finger, don't use a smudge stick. If you do, I'm failing you. So you crosshatch and you layer that stuff.
Listen, the only time you use a smudge stick is if you're doing like a soft like portrait type thing on like you're using like what is it, ebony pencil. You know, that's the only time you use that. If you're doing like if you're doing that specific thing, but otherwise, give me the cross hatching, man. You know, use the pencil to your advantage. Later. So
here's how thin or fine my cross hatching can get. I do have a website with my portfolio on there.
Drop that you all know in the chat or in the private chat, so I can drop that for everybody.
For sure. But yeah, like my crosshatch does end up getting very soft. So when the book's crosshatch ends up getting shrunk down to the size of like the current size or whatever, it's going to create textures. Yeah, there's going to be you can still see some crosshatches, but most of them are going to start blending together. And I know
it'll give you your tone.
Yeah. And in comic books, I found out you guys like seeing those markings. So for my next book, it's going to be drawn in traditional with my finished pencils like this style, not finished comic book. pencil,
and then,
this kind of finish, and then I'm going to digitally color it. Yeah.
All right. So next campaign, you might actually have some original artwork to sell.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. Very nice.
Dude.
Yeah, go ahead and drop that in the private chat so I can give the audience the link to that as well.
Thank you.
Copy link address. Everybody go check out Jeremy's website because that is some absolutely badass art. This is just, it's a beautiful book, man. And the colors, the line work, the colors, it all feeds into that whole epic feel of the story that you're going for, that Final Fantasy feel. And this is just beautiful, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that. The Alan Lee and Mark and John Howe, the illustrators of the Jackson Lord of the Rings movies, you know, they giant inspiration for the graphite style. Yeah.
Just epic, man.
And then Shanthan Jetty did that cover.
So Shanthan Jetty is doing your colors?
Yeah. No, he did cover.
Rad, dude. Awesome.
Or he gave me a variant
cool,
cover.
Man. Shanthan's fucking great. I love his work.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And you've got a grayscale edition coming out. Look at this. Holy shit, y'all. Look at this.
The tone.
Like, I mean, you just don't like comic books or artwork in general if you don't like this. Holy hell. That is beautiful, man. I appreciate it. One of the things I love is when a piece of artwork stands on its own as like just black and white. I don't know if you're familiar with Poison Elves. It's a independent comic series by Drew Hayes, put out by Sirius Entertainment in the 90s into the early 2000s. One of the things that Drew Hayes said is that color lets shitty artists get away with shitty art.
It's kind of true in certain ways. If you're using certain techniques, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. Now, that's a pretty blanket statement, though.
Yeah,
but yeah,
Drew was pretty confrontational. So that's the way he worded it. But what he was saying is that color can be a crutch if you're not careful.
Right.
But the fact that this all,
but so can the line too. The line can
as black and white. Yeah. I love that, man, and I love the fact that you're offering a black and white version of this book as well. I think that's fucking rad.
Sweet. And then Joe Catapano did me an action cover.
Joe, you just so damn talented, dude. Shit. That is a beautiful cover.
He still has copies of Star Circuit offered on his website via Studios.
Oh, y'all should go grab that. Seriously.
Yeah. But yeah, these cool things, dude. Like these chime cubes were cool, and then the loading.
So now this is the thing that you have right there, and now this is sold out. Yeah,
and it's a acrylic cast resin for that. I put some dye in it, some blue dye to give it some color. This is armature wire with sinew woven over all the parts, and then they're woven together, and that's actual braided leather around there. There's an extra crystal, loading crystal in there. That is the chrono crystal, which has the hover ability, so it makes the knife lighter. Imagination. But if you like, moving things around, these things, like, they feel great. It's balanced good. I love them. And it comes with the belt frog. So if you like going to Ren fairs or cosplaying or anything, hang it on your belt, or you can bend that out and it doubles as a stand. So
crafty bastard, says Past Master Dan. Buck-ass says Tokame, and badass says Flying Feline.
Thank you, guys.
Now Flying Feline is actually she's a forger as well.
Cool.
She's made herself a sword before, and so she's remarkably talented. My girl is. Look at that.
My Badger blade, man. I love them. I wrap the handles in sinew as well when I get them in. But Badgers are awesome. I love them. Oh yeah, I'm a big sword dude. Big sword.
Same. I love swords. I love bladed weapons.
So much fun.
Wow. She says belt frog. It says Frog G. Yes, belt frog. You heard that right, Frog G. Tokame says that would make a sick vibro blade. Highlander, says Past Master Dan.
Actually, I'm 2 degrees from crossing swords with the TV Highlander. My buddy I used to do a lot of that stuff with in high school and Ren fairs and stuff. He just did Adrian Paul's sword or blade of the blade or of the sword school over there in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's on YouTube. You can search for it, but he had a good time over there. So
awesome.
Yeah, I'm 2 degrees from crossing blades with the Highlander.
That's fucking rad. Yeah,
that's better than 7 degrees to bacon, man.
Right? I agree. I totally agree. All right, so stickers as your stretch goal.
6 a.m.
and
stickers.
It seems like you're going to hit that pretty damn soon.
Actually, you guys have already you blew past that in the Bancroft launch. Yes, you all already got those. That's why on the stretch goal fractal, because you guys love making the joke. Oh yeah, you guys rock. Yeah, you guys
love the
got
chat,
it,
man.
Oh, they're awesome. They're the only reason this is happening. I can't sneak and believe it.
That's right. That's right. That's how we are able to do any of this stuff. The chat is amazing. And you know what? The chat loves good stories. They love good artwork. They love good stories. Quality. You bring quality to the chat, and they will reward you. Obviously.
Yes. So that fractal or stretch goal fractal, that's kind of like my roadmap for the stretch goals. So
cool.
You see how one segment's filled in. You guys have already gotten that that chunk, that crystal solidified. You got the 6 a.m. stickers. The next one is coming up. You guys are almost leveled up to level 20. Once that happens, I'll drop another stretch goal down there. I've already got one locked. I've got all of them basically locked in. There's a couple of them that I still have to figure out. I have to make the agreements, but that's
gotta work everything out. Yeah.
You all know them. They're great contributors. So I've already asked them previously if they'd help. Man. They said, "Yeah, no worries." But I just got to get back into it. But yeah, this is the roadmap of where we're going.
Goals.
Yeah. So get into them. I want to give you guys the extra stuff. Let's
Past message Danny says he likes stretch pants better. Well, I mean, that's apropos. Thanksgiving's on its way.
Action jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what I'm gonna call him from now on. Stretch pants are officially action jeans. All right, let's take a quick look at your tiers here because I know that you got to go here.
Yes, sir.
All right,
appreciate
so cover collection. This is the featured tier. This is going to be the best bang for your buck. This is what you want to go with. You get all 4 covers of Beck and Recourse, which features the grayscale and colored covers created by Jeremy Thevenot, main A and B, as well as Shanth and Jetty, variant A, watercolor cover by and Joe Catapano's variant B, black and white cover. Plus, you receive a Loden crystal. Color may vary. Yep. And that's the little dark crack rock rocks that he showed us earlier. And that's only, and I do say only, $65. That's a hell of a deal for all the stuff you're gonna get.
It's not going to last like that. I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to have the first week best deal circumstance. The prices aren't going to change, but I need to make up a little bit of that shipping. If you go into these things, the shippings are very generous, extremely generous right now. So at the end of this weekend, I believe it's going to be Saturday night, I'm going to be re-uploading basically the same perks that you see here. Just the shipping has been a little added on so I can make up a little bit on that. Though you guys in that first week, you guys killed it, like went way past my expectation. It's just a little bit. But again, if you guys hate it, if you guys are mad at me, it's only as static as you let it be. So
shipping is an absolute beast right now, especially to our brethren and sister over in the land down under. Trying to ship comics to our brother and sister down in Australia is just it's a goddamn nightmare. So I'm glad that we got hockey helping out in that regard.
Yeah, you guys have gotten me very close to that 6K goal. I had to give you guys the best deal I could. It was more like getting it spread out to you guys more than it was making the best buck off the top. But now it's like you guys have got me this far. Thank you so much. I gotta see if I can recoup something.
Right.
Yeah.
And look, you guys can if you're not gonna get the cover collection, main B, variant B, main A. Like the black and white ones are only $15. The color ones are $20. $15-20 for a 32 page book. That is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
$15 because they cost cheaper to print because they're not color.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and see, obviously you're passing that along to the customer.
Yeah.
Main edition collection, you get the main 2 editions, black and white. Variant collection, you get the Joe Catapano black and white cover and the watercolor cover. Man. And the Art Bros collection. Nice. But speaking of Art Bros, you have your show, which should be technically starting right now.
Well, my Art Bros is usually jump between Wednesday and Friday right now because that's on Joe Catapano's channel. So the channel I've got to go on is my own. It's at Zade Studios on YouTube. I do
link
with my
is
older
in
brother.
The description, folks. Go ahead and click that link and jump on over there. Dude, this looks amazing, and you're already sold out of 2 tiers. That's fucking incredible, dude.
Yeah, like, 2 more graphite character portraits. So
Skull,
yeah,
brother.
Skull, dude. Thank you, man. Appreciate
Congratulations on a successful launch, and may it continue.
Thank you, boss. Appreciate you.
With great characters, and you guys have obviously put a lot of hard work in. I can't wait to talk to you more about this and the video game. And I'm gonna have to jump over there and download the video game.
Yeah,
and,
go play it. Let me know. What you think,
spend some of that free time that I got playing some video games.
Heck yeah.
But guys, he's got to go. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are absolutely amazing. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you all for being here. And always remember,
shop smart, shop S-Mart.